Today I want to check out two licks in the Phrygian Dominant scale, or the Phrygian Dominant mode. This is actually just a mode of the harmonic minor scale. I think of it as another scale, but it's a mode of the harmonic minor scale. So don't feel too freaked out by the word Phrygian dominant. It'll make sense in a second, hopefully. Today we're going to be focusing our licks around two chords. We're going to be in the key of D minor. So that's one of the chords, and the other chord is A7, and this is the 5 chord. This is where the dominant in Phrygian Dominant really comes from. So the licks are going to be based around playing over this A7 chord. So even though I said we're in the key of D minor, when people play a minor scale, they often play a natural minor scale. Now the issue with this is that when we have a dominant chord leading back to the 1 minor, or the D minor, there's actually a note in the A7 or the 5 chord that doesn't occur or doesn't happen in the natural minor scale, and that is the 3rd of A, which is a C sharp. So if we played a D natural minor scale, that C is natural. If we play a D harmonic minor, that C is now C sharp. It's a major 7th interval from D. You get this wide interval leap in the scale, the D harmonic minor scale. And it suits like a major minor 7 kind of chord. It also works really well over the 5 chord when we lead back to the 1. It's a really, really cool sound, and it's really simple for you to sound sort of more sophisticated. Even if you don't know Phrygian dominant, whatever the hell that means, you can still play your harmonic minor scale and it will sound cool, trust me. So before we check out the first lick, the intro that you heard had a little backing track going from D minor for 2 bars and A7 for 2 bars. So these licks are based off of that backing track that I made. It's available on my Patreon, as well as the full tab and notation to that short little intro there, so you can learn some other licks that I played sort of off the cuff, improvising. However, let's check out the first lick. So let's get into it. We're going to start on the A note, 10th fret B. Then we're going to hit the flat 9 of A, and then come back down. And then I like to slide back to the flat 7 of A, which is our 8th fret B. And then we're just going to go up the harmonic minor scale. Really quite simple, guys, but it's just that flavor that sounds really cool over that A7. So after we've done that little hammer-on, pull-off slide, we're going to then go from A, which is the root note of our 5 chord. Then we're going to go to the flat 9, the major 3rd, right? The perfect 4th, the perfect 5th of A, the sharp 5 of A, gives you that altered sound, the flat 7 of A, and then we're going to land on the actual A note, which is the perfect 5th of D minor. So that A note is a chord tone of the D minor, and that's what we call a target note. I'm really aiming to land that lick on a chord tone on beat 1 of the chord change. That's what makes it sound really nice. So the second lick is a little bit more complicated. However, it does follow a nice little pattern under the fingers that ascends. It's actually a diminished triad that goes up, and then we finally resolve to the D minor. So bear with me, but it is all D harmonic minor, or if you want to think of it in terms of A Phrygian dominant. So let's get into the lick. This is what it sounds like. Now I am playing triplets, so keep that in mind. The rhythm is a little bit odd, but that's why it sounds cool in my opinion. So we're starting on the root note of A, sliding into the flat 2, or the minor second. Then we're hitting the major third, then we're hitting the 5th, and then the flat 7. And then we're hitting the root note again, but an octave up, and then sliding into the flat 2. So that's a cool lick in itself, right? So I encourage you to explore other options and how you might get out of that lick a little bit earlier if you want. Make it your own. That's the idea here. So here it is again. Now once we hit this flat 2, we're going to go down to the flat 7 of A and then the 5th of A. Still all D harmonic minor. That actually spells out a diminished triad. A diminished triad, or a diminished chord, is just minor third intervals stacked on top of each other. So you've got from this note a minor third, and then you've got this note, a minor third. Now that's important to know because we're going to then shift that shape up in intervals of minor thirds. So we're going to move up 3 frets at a time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the pattern that I was talking about before. Let me play that slowly. So we go down that triad, and then we actually slide into the bottom note of the next triad that we shifted up a minor third. I'll do that again slowly. Do the same thing in the next group of 3 notes, except we go from the top note to the lowest note of the 3-note group. Check it out. There's one more shape. We do the same concept, sliding up, and then completing the triad. Go up another minor third, which is going to be our flat 9 of A. And then we're landing on the perfect 5th of beat 1 on the D minor chord, targeting that chord tone. This is the whole lick. The notation for these 2 licks are in my Patreon if you want to sign up. However, I hope you are picking it up just by me playing through it. It's a pretty fun lick, so try and get your fingers under it. If you don't like that triplet rhythm, you can change it, you can make it your own, and you can do whatever you want with it, but I think that shape is really cool. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you got something out of it. That backing track that I played to at the start is available on my Patreon, as well as the tab and notation for the first solo and those 2 licks. Thanks again. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.